Well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome. We are glad that you are with us tonight.
Yes.
We are watching people logging on, and so please get the word out. Let's get some more folks in tonight. I'm watching our YouTube number go up and Facebook number go up. So would you get the word out? But I'm glad you're on. I'm glad for the people that are already on. I'm glad you made it on. And I was texting in the putting in the chat on YouTube. Get the word out. Tonight's going to be good. This is a follow-up from the marriage advance. Something we're going to cover tonight. So get the word out. Look on the thread and see who's on. And if it's somebody that's not on, that's supposed to be on, get the word out. Tell them, hey, get yourself on. Because we're excited tonight. And so we're going to give it a few minutes. But I'm so glad that you're on, man. I'm glad that you're in tonight. This is going to be really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good.
Yes.
And so, the numbers keep going up. Okay, let's roll. Okay, good evening, y'all. Good evening, everybody. I'm glad you're on. Again, do us a favor. Get the word out, please. Get the word out. We haven't done a Marriage Monday in a couple months. 1 month or 2 months?
It was July.
We did it July.
End of July.
So we haven't done it in 2 months.
We were supposed to do it in August, right before we left for...
Okay.
But I think we were away, or we just came back or something.
August, we were away. We did it in August?
No, we didn't do it in August.
So I think we were away.
Is this September? No. What's this?
We haven't done it in a minute. We're in October. We haven't done it. We did it in August. No, we didn't do it in August or September. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yes.
We're on. We're on. And so I'm glad that you're on, man.
On old age, you forget.
No, not old age. What are you talking about, old age?
Well, when you're older.
Seasoned.
Older.
Seasoned. But very good. So again, help us get the word out, man. I'm going to give it another minute or two, and then we're going to go. The numbers are going up. That's good. Let's get a few more in. Mm-hmm. Share this real quick. Share it. Spread the word. Tell folks.
Yes.
Marriage Monday is on with Bishop and Pastor Aisha. And you know when we get on, you know it's going to be real, relevant, and many times raw. And so we don't hold back. Somebody asked too, do they have to be married to be on? No, you don't. This is about relationships. So whether you're single, married, doesn't matter. You can be on. This is not just for married folks. So get the word out, please. Get the word out. But I'm saying, y'all, good evening. I don't want to call names because then good evening, everybody. Good evening. Glad that you're on. Sit down, settle. Don't multitask. I need you to sit down for this one. Pay attention with your spouse. And if your spouse is not with you, for whatever reason, you need to make a note of this. Go back and look at it so you and your spouse can discuss it. So make sure that you do that. All right, we're 3 minutes in because we're only going to be here for an hour. So let's roll.
Yes.
Okay, can we get started?
Yes. Well, do we need to let everybody know?
No.
Everybody knows who we are.
We have to pray.
We got to do that too.
We got to pray so we
can make it to
So let's pray. Father, we bless you tonight.
Yes,
we thank you for your goodness, your grace.
You,
we give you glory and honor and praise. We love
thank
you, Lord, so
Hallelujah.
much with our whole heart.
Yes.
And we thank you for all that you're going to do tonight.
Thank you,
Holy
Lord.
Spirit, take control now.
Thank
you lead, you guide.
Yes,
and we thank you for it in Jesus' name.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
All right,
Amen.
Well, if you don't know who we are, tell them who we are.
Yes. For those who do not know, because I know that every single person out there is sharing this with somebody. They're sharing it on their page. And like I always say at Victory, hopefully you've texted somebody, tweet somebody, Instagram somebody, TikTok somebody. What is it?
TikTok, you don't stop?
No, TikTok, you don't stop somebody. One of your social media pages that you have. Because I think this is really, really, really good, what we're about to share tonight.
Yes.
If you don't know who we are, I am Pastor Aisha, his Victoria's Secret model.
Yes, come on, check it out.
I think that's
I have it.
No, you have that on your shirt. Yes.
Come on, check it out. Do you know what shirt you're wearing? Check it out.
I said that's what happens when you get seasoned. You kind of forget what you're wearing. And I am.
Do you know?
You are.
You're my boo thing. Come on.
Yes.
Do you just look at your shirt? Do you know?
He's my boo thing.
Come on.
My boo thing, Bishop John Edmondson.
I'm your wingman. That's why I'm here. I'm your wingman.
We pastor one of the best churches on the planet,
We
Victory
do.
and Christ Christian Center, located in Westville, New Jersey, Deptford Township. Literally, one of the first exits over the bridge from Philadelphia.
Yes.
Go Phillies. Go Phillies.
Got my red cup.
Yes, they are.
Red
in the
October.
World
Got my red
Series
cup.
now.
Red October. What's in the cup? Who knows? Got my cup.
Yes, and for those who do not know, we are certified Christian counselors.
Yes.
Yes, we are. We have also written a book
Extreme
home
makeover.
Again, the brain farts. And also Bishop has written a book on fatherhood as well. So you can check them out on Amazon. They are both on Amazon. You could get them there. But we're excited about tonight.
Yes.
We are kind of expounding a little bit more. We did a marriage advance in September, which was truly, truly phenomenal. We had over 100.
That was awesome.
Couples that
was
came
awesome.
to a marriage advance that we did in Upper Marlboro.
No, we did not. Upper Marlboro, Maryland?
Is it? No.
National Harbor.
Well, it's literally maybe
it's all right.
It's 20 minutes from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, in the National Harbor, about 20 minutes from there. Don't ask me why I'm thinking about Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Bishop Don Mears, that's what you're thinking about.
Maybe because I knew we passed that exit on the way there on the way home. But anyway, at the National Harbor, it was truly phenomenal.
It was
beautiful.
great.
We had great time. We gave all the married couples homework.
Yeah.
And
we renewed vows. Man, we hadn't done one in 6 years.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. You could tell we hadn't done one. It was great.
And I think we gave 21 points, I think it was, something like that, on how to have a successful marriage.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we just touched on very briefly was the 5 love languages, but we didn't go in depth in it, but people started asking questions.
They did.
So it made us think, you know what, I think we need to probably go into more depth. We said we'd probably talk about it a little bit more later. Didn't know exactly when, but we said, you know what, our next Marriage Monday would be a great time to expound just a little bit more, on the 5 languages and how to express those love languages to your spouse or to people that you're in relationship, because it doesn't necessarily have to be your spouse, but anybody that you have relationship with.
And the reason why this is so important, and it kind of ties into why we say this is not just for married people, because this is about you as a person.
Yes.
These 5 love languages are really about you as a person. And if you're single, this is important because you need to know your love languages so that you can communicate them to your intended other so they know how to show you love.
Yes.
And so this is really important. So don't go, well, I'm not married, so this doesn't apply. This absolutely applies to you. It applies to everybody individually, because I can't tell you what I need if I don't know what I need.
Yeah.
And so that's what tonight is all about. And I thought it was interesting because Gary Chapman is the author of the book, The 5 Love Languages, but there was a variety of people that didn't know. They didn't know, and they're questioning. They're like, what are the love languages? And can you expound on that? So I think many times what we take for granted or what we think everybody knows, a lot of people don't know. So if you're familiar with these, man, then put some stuff in the chat as we're expounding. Help us teach tonight. Help us share tonight. If this is foreign to you, sit back and really pay attention, because this is going to be really, really good. And even though Pastor Aisha and I know this, as we were preparing for this, it was interesting how we were dialoguing a little bit of adjustments we need to make in how we communicate to each other, which is a reinforcement. You're never above anything. It doesn't matter how much you teach stuff, how books you write. It's a constant working and reworking.
I think too, I love to teach stuff of things that I know that we need to work on, because, the Bible says we've never arrived.
Right.
God says He'll be perfecting us until the day that Jesus Christ returns.
Right.
And so, there's many times there's things that we've taught, and we've taught it, in different ways and different spans.
Yeah.
But I always like to teach things too that we need to make sure that we're tweaking in ourselves.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I love. One of the things about Victory is it's always relatable. It's always relevant, relatable, and transparent. Pastor Aisha and I, we don't try to be transparent. That's just who we are. And I think that's very good, because transparency shows to other people, man, things that are common in a relationship or in your life or whatever the case is. So that's what we're going to do tonight. This is going to be really, really good. And so let's dive in. Again, there's a book by Gary Chapman, so people can really go get this, buy this, download it,
and
whatever.
We're going to give you some links. We're going to attach links actually to the description afterwards. We'll have attachments to the link, and we're also going to put it in the chat towards the end as well, so you'll have more information to actually click on, and even actually take the quiz at the end, so you can find out what your actual love language is.
We took the quiz,
yes,
so we're going to talk about that in a little while. Okay, so if you have a question, hold it.
We took the quiz a long time ago.
We did,
but It's been so long. And I think, and that's why I was excited about it, because one of the things we talked about, everybody, you change. You can be married to somebody and you take for granted, things that you think you know about
right.
them. But
That's good.
You change every 10 years or so, and what you used to like and what you is different than how it is maybe 10 years later.
I don't think for me. I'm like the Lord. I changed now. It's just how I was 10 years ago in this, man.
Well, some people change. I know I've changed.
Yeah.
I've changed. And what I used to like, I think, in some
No, I
ways,
think you're the same. I think you're the same.
Yeah, I think
I just
so.
think you
In some
become
ways,
more of it.
I've evolved.
Yeah, okay, that's a good word.
I think I've evolved.
You evolved. That's a good word. That's a good word. All right, so let's dive in. Let's make some notes, okay? Make some notes to this. Let's dive in. This is going to be really, really, really good. Some people say, I read the book and took the test. That's good. That's good. You just did this. This is good. So I want y'all to expound. As we're talking, man, put some stuff in the chat. Let's make this interactive tonight. Don't put a question in till we're ready. But, interject. Put some stuff in. All right, so here's the first one. Let's dive in to the first one. And these are not in any order, but we're just going to kind of go through these, okay? So, number one, what's the first one?
The first one is words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Now, This is important, words of affirmation, because when we say words of affirmation, we're talking about verbal expressions from your partner. Verbal expressions. And this could be saying, I love you, man, giving compliments, acknowledging them. Your love language, part of it could be just words of affirmation that you need. Not need, but you really, part of your personality is these words of affirmation. When somebody says, I love you, when they give you compliments or whatever. Like, I love Pastor Aisha when she compliments me. When she compliments me. One time I was shoveling snow and I was tired, man. And Pastor Aisha stood at the door and was like, look at you, boy. Looking all good in those jeans. Man, my shoulders went from drooping to went back, man. I became like a machine snow plowing. Pastor Aisha will sometimes just say, I love you. And Pastor Aisha's not real wordy that way. She's not real wordy. And it just blesses me when she says it. Now, I don't need her to do it. But because that's part of my love language, it feels good.
Yeah. And I think, some of the things that a person, the affirmation is very important to them. They don't necessarily want you to show them. They want you to tell them.
Yeah.
I think that's important. And they respond better to words than they do actions. And that's definitely you, because I can always tell when I say something to you, how much I love you. I'm just like, it's like the world done exploded.
Yes.
He can say, but it's the total opposite when he says something.
I could go, I love you.
He can say something, I just look at him like,
I love you. Now, I think there's a...
That's definitely not one of my love languages.
She look at me.
Sometimes I think it's because that's his love language, he does it so much to me. It's like second nature.
Yeah.
So I receive it all the time.
Yeah.
So a part of me questions that maybe if I didn't receive it as much, maybe would it be one of my love language? Maybe I would need it more often. But because he does it all the time, I'm just like... You
saturated with love.
Yes.
But
I'm saturated with affirmations of love.
But the thing is, now the balance in this is, it may be a love language, but I don't need it to be satisfied. You got to balance that. You can't, I just need you to do this more. No. Because I'm supposed to be satisfied totally with God. But when she does this, it makes me feel good. But you don't want to turn around and go, I need you to do this more. No, it's knowing your spouse's love language, and because you want to please them, doing it. But don't twist this around and think, I'm not satisfied because you're not doing this. Because Pastor, I love hearing, like when she says, I'm her boo thing. Y'all see me light up all the time. I'm like, forget Bishop, just say boo thing. Y'all see that if you follow us, but I don't need it. That's the difference. So keep that in mind.
But some other things you can do for a person whose love language is affirmation is communicate often. Maybe text them once or twice a day. I'll call them, just expressing your love, just to show them how much you love them. Again, it's not about you. Maybe you don't need that. You know, you could care less about that. But if you know that there's different people that you have a relationship with, that or your spouse, that's their mode of love language, then that's something you want to do. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You will, just like you want them to express your type of love language, you want to do that to them.
We do emoji communication. We'll do these emoji. You know, I'll send something to her.
But of course, because one of his languages is appreciation, he does it a whole lot more.
I'll send her an emoji, you know, or something like and then she'll send something back, and I'll send something back, and you know, so it's it's that type of thing. And so reinforce the ways for people to know this. You know, so one, we said, you know, don't, you know, tell it, don't show it.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said, tell it, don't show it. I said, communicate often.
Yeah.
And you also want to keep it simple. If your partner wants words of affirmations, it's usually better just to keep it simple. Don't worry about sometimes even if you overdo it. You know, somebody that likes words of affirmation, guess what? You can never overdo it.
Yeah.
You be like, I already said that. You can say it again. It's not a big deal, especially if somebody likes words of affirmation. Yeah,
and so for those that have done this or familiar, put some stuff in the chat for us real quick of words of affirmation. Put some stuff in so that people watching, you know, we just said a few things, but you might put something in, man, at what you do for your spouse or what you like done for words of affirmation. So kind of put that, in. We're just kind of covering these in a nutshell.
And this is so important, understanding the different love languages, because again, your love language and what you express to somebody else may be different than what your love language is. And it's important to understand each other's love language.
Yeah.
Because you could be doing something to somebody that you like if I try to express my love language to Bishop, he's not going to be fazed.
Right.
Because that's not his love language.
Right.
But when I show him his love language, it's like the whole world just lights up.
Right.
So it's important to understand what each other's love languages are and to try to meet them.
And the mistake that can be made, and we make this at different times, the mistake is expressing love to your spouse the way you like to be loved, but not necessarily the way they like to be loved. And so it may feel good to you, but it's not doing anything for them. Like Pastor Aisha's love language is not words of affirmation. So me telling her I love her, she's like, I know that. I know that. So it makes me feel good. Girl, I love you. I'm in the moment. And she's like, okay. And she's not being mean, but you know, she's not receiving it the way I receive it because it's not her love language. So you got to liberate each other and not put each other in bondage that, you know, or I get upset because you're not responding the way I'm saying it, like that you're not going, oh, I love you too, honey. That's not your love language, so you're not going to respond back that way.
Yeah.
So very good. All right, so awesome. Okay, so I'm putting some things. Your words and actions of love for your spouse should confirm each other. That's good. That's good. Deacon Martin said that. Mama's husband loves me to tell him that I'm proud of him. You hear that he's the epitome of LCD man. So yeah, I'm gonna tell Minister Marcus that you're the epitome of an LCD man. But yeah, so that's good.
I think a lot of men like words.
I think so
affirmation
because of ego.
Because of
ego. I think so.
I think that's important. I think women, like it to some degree. It depends on how a woman's made up.
Yeah.
But a man, I think like
especially his woman. Yeah. His woman building him up. Man, when Pastor Aisha built me up, like yesterday when I was preaching, and Pastor Aisha stood up. I wasn't seeing nobody else. Pastor Aisha was on her feet, or she was like just leaning forward. Man, y'all could have sat down quiet. I don't care. Even though people are cheering Pastor Aisha, man, because something about a man, he loves to hear his woman. Even, a man who's dating, he loves to hear his woman build him up. So I agree. I think a lot of men. And so
and I think it's important that, especially if you're dating or you're seeing somebody, I think it's important that you communicate to the person that you're seeing what your love language is, so that they make sure that from the very beginning they're not doing something that you don't like.
Right.
And if you don't know, that's probably one of the first things that you want to do is to take the test so that you at least know what each other's love languages are. And sometimes it's good even with your children to know what your children's love languages are. In fact, Gary Chapman, he has a book on the love languages for children. He's for men, for women, for married marriages. He has books on all of them because it's important that we understand that so we can minister to each other based upon.
Is food a love language? Because all of our boys get happy when we feed them.
That would be acts of service, I believe.
Okay. So listen, before we go to the next one. So
Which
tonight,
is next.
before we go to the next one, so ladies, if your man, one of his love language is word of affirmation, you should do it tonight. You should do it. It's like you get in the bed, go, boy, you look good in those drawers. So, all right, that's the first one. That's the first one. Number one.
Jesus,
Number
I know
one.
what I'm doing tonight.
Okay. Boy.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go. So here's the second one.
Jesus.
Second one, acts of service. Acts of service. So
I was thinking it ain't gonna be with the drawers. I'm sorry. Let's go.
see, we told you it's
All
raw.
right,
It get kind of raw. We
acts
got
of
non-married people on.
service.
You're not doing. If you single, you're not doing that.
Well, you
okay.
can learn something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that when and if you're called to be married, you know what to
That's
do.
right. So let's do. So the
All
next
right.
acts of service.
Acts of service.
And I mean, their acts of service are things that you physically do in order to make the other person feel cared for. This is really important. Things that you do, all types of things that you do to really show the other person I care. Acts of service. This is really, really important. That when you take the time to do something, and it can be any number of things.
It could be helping with a task
Yeah.
you know, maybe your spouse or somebody that you're in a relationship with is doing.
Yeah.
Helping them just check off the checklist. It could be anything. Doing the dishes, helping around the house, helping with the kids, picking them up from school.
Yeah.
You know, just small acts of service just to make life easier
Yes.
or just to make them feel special.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, so even like, opening a car door for your wife, especially if, just opening a car door, opening a door, doing small things, just acts of, if your wife is into this, man, there's all types of just little things.
Yeah.
It's not big things, vacuuming.
Well, especially when you're dating,
Yeah.
taking the time to open the car door,
Yeah.
saying, babe, you stay here. I'm
Yeah.
going to come around, open the door.
Or I'm
you
going to go
stay
get the
there.
car. It's
Or
raining.
I'm paying for the date.
Yeah.
You
And see, singles, you need to get this. Let me talk to you for a minute. Because chivalry it's not dead, but it's foreign.
Yes, I like that. Yes, Rhonda, cleaning the house.
It's chivalry is foreign.
Doing the dishes.
I'm talking about chivalry right now.
That is chivalry.
Okay, but I'm saying, listen to me. A lot of young men don't understand the importance of opening the door
Yeah.
for the young lady you're dating. Opening the door for her, getting her out of the car. Going to get the car if it's raining versus saying, all right, come on, you coming? Or whatever the case is. It's those type of things are important because it sends a message.
It does.
It sends a message. And so, the acts of services, it can be any number of things, but really you could find out from your spouse. You could find out if your spouse's love language is acts of service, what can I do that, lets you know I appreciate you?
Sometimes it's just the small little things.
Yeah.
It could be, making a cup of coffee, if they're tired or if they say, you know what, I'm going to get something to drink. No, baby, you stay there. I'll go get you something. What do you want? It's those little things. And for me, acts of service is one of my love language. It's a big one for me, actually.
It is.
And it doesn't, and for me, it's not big things. It's the small things. It's the little things. And I think like Bishop said, when the kid, so it changes.
It changes.
It evolves.
Yeah,
because when
it does.
the kids were younger, it was especially helping out with the kids.
Yes.
Even helping with the around the house. It still is helping them around the house and and cleaning up. Like I just got finished cooking, so we're gonna see who cleans up the dishes.
What's the rule?
Afterwards,
What's the rule?
The rule is if I cook, they clean, but that doesn't always happen all the time.
But
So
it
we'll
happens
see
most
what
of the
happens.
times. It happens most of the times. Josh, get the dishes done. But yeah, but like one of the things, just thoughtful things. So, at night, I know Pastor Aisha likes to take water up and she goes to bed. So if I'm, before I go up, I'll go, hey, do you need something to drink? Because she might have already gotten the water.
Yes.
And, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It doesn't have to, just small little things And that when you do that, it says to the person who acts of service as a love language that you care.
Yes.
That you care, that you're on, you're on my mind. And so, think about just some of the little things that you can do for your spouse that really says to them, I care for you.
Yeah.
I care. And so this is good dialogue. If I don't know what to talk about with my spouse anymore, sometimes the longer you've been married, you're like, I don't know what to talk about. This is a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
To sit down and go, hey, I want to make sure that you know how much I love you and care for you. I need to understand your love language.
Yeah.
So that I can show you love because
based on the way you want to receive love.
You could be saying, you could be trying to demonstrate how much you love the person, but if they're not receiving it through their love language, it could be falling on deaf ears.
Now, the one thing I do want to say, I know that Gary Chapman talks about it being a need of 5 love languages being a need. I don't agree with it being a need. Because God says, I shall supply all your needs according to your riches and glory. Because I feel that if one of these things aren't done, it's not like it's detrimental. You shouldn't feel that I have to have these things in order for my marriage to be
good, to be satisfied,
to be make or break the marriage. Yeah. I think it helps the marriage. It definitely helps in marriages, especially for those who are married. It helps your relationship.
It helps us to maximize it.
Or all relationships, but it's not a make or break. I would say that.
Right, and here's why. Because you might say, well, why is that true? Because we enter into covenant.
Covenant, yes.
And covenant's not a feeling.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to be successfully single.
Yes.
I'm supposed to turn around and be satisfied within myself. Right, so I don't need you to do anything. I appreciate when you do it.
It's appreciation.
Yeah, and because
it's appreciation because you took the time to really get to know me,
right?
To know what I like and what I love.
And God has us covered in that because God says when you're single, your focus is on pleasing Him, but when you're married, your focus is on pleasing your spouse.
Yeah.
So the biblical nature of this is not so much I need you to do this, but God says do it so that you please your spouse.
Yeah.
So that's the balance in this on that, okay? And again, it's little things. It can be big things every so often, but on the regular, it's don't neglect the little things that you can do. Vacuuming is a little thing. Cleaning the dishes is a little thing. Getting some flowers, you don't even have to buy them. You pick them. It's a small thing. Whatever the case is, little acts of service that says, I care about you. I appreciate you. And again, when you're single, you don't have to be in the same house. You can do all types of things. I think when you're single, you're more conscious of this. You might not know what the love language is, but you're doing things and so forth.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get married, you can fall off and you can stop. You can stop.
And I think that's what happens. I think even sometimes with us, I think you take things for granted.
That's the word. Yeah.
You've been with each other for so long, and you kind of get into sometimes a rut, and you have to make sure you do things so that you don't stay in a rut all the time. Yeah. The longer you've been married, so you've been married for 30 years, 20, 25, 30 in our case. You change, people change, and you can get into these ruts. And God wants us to have, for marriage, a marriage that's satisfying. He wants us to have an awesome marriage. He wants us to have a marriage that represents Him. And so for a single person, you have to understand that dating is not the same as marriage. It's different. When you're single, man, here's one of the foundational things. When you're single, you going home. You going home, they going home. That's a big difference. They work your nerve.
I don't got to see you for a while. I ain't got to talk to you. When you're married, you can't go anywhere.
Can't go nowhere.
And so, but marriage is supposed to be awesome. Yeah. And we can attest to that. Our marriage is nowhere near perfect, but it's awesome because we put a lot of time into it.
And a lot of work.
Yeah. Whole lot of work. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the third one. What's the third love language?
And the third love language is my other top area.
Yes.
Too. But I have to make sure I clarify it. Which it does. And that's receiving gifts.
Receiving gifts. And so, receiving gifts is when you like receiving things. And that doesn't mean materialistic.
No,
that really doesn't mean materialistic.
And it doesn't necessarily, because if anybody knows me, I'm not a big, because it could be jewelries, it could be flowers, it could be, and I'm a kind of person, I don't necessarily even have to receive stuff on my birthday. I like unexpected gifts. I like gifts that are thoughtful from the heart, or maybe I think anybody's out there. Like one time I saw this cup that said on Facebook that says I have too many. My brain has too many tabs open, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I need that cup in my life." Somebody took the time to order that cup, find that cup, order that cup, and give it to me as a gift.
Right.
That to me was one of the most thoughtful things, because it took time, it took effort, it took a thought. I'd rather receive gifts like that than money or big expensive jewelry. Not necessarily, I may not like.
No, it's not that you don't, but you're not. It's not exclusively that.
I'm into the thought.
Yeah, like like the flip side. Pastor Aisha just said to me recently, I've been asking to go see David, and I was like, you have? She was like, yeah, and she had said something before and I missed it. I missed it, or I wasn't paying attention. And she was like, I wonder if we're going. So guess what I did?
I said it's gonna be out the theaters by
the end of the year. It's gonna be gone. And we don't want that. So man, went on and did it. And the whole point is, your spouse can be saying things and you're not paying attention, or you're not listening, and you're not catching it. Now, if that's the case, you can recover. Pick up, make it work, make it happen.
But at the same time, I could have got an attitude.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he didn't hear me. He's not thinking.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, just keep putting it out there. Eventually, he'll get the hint.
Yeah. If not, we don't want the wrath of mama. And so, again, we're saying stuff like that because we're not perfect. People, you look at us and think, oh, well, they have it together. We do not. We do not. Mm-hmm. We are a work in progress.
Yes.
We are a work in progress. And so, but, when your spouse likes gifts, man, there's all types of just little thoughtful things that you can do just to, give your spouse, a gift. And again, this is not even relegated to marriages.
Yeah.
It's Marriage Monday, but this is for people. When this is somebody's love language, like Deacon Martin is on. I know Deacon Martin gave you a great gift from Tanya, that he did with the dolls or whatever.
The dolls. And that was like a great, great thoughtful gift.
Trying to show me up, Deacon Martin, but it was good.
Yeah, he had clothing from my grandmother, and he put some of the clothing on the dolls from my grandmother, and I'm just like, that is like. It had me in tears, So gifts of appreciation and thoughtfulness that took some time or effort. That is the most, important things. And many times with people that appreciate gifts, sometimes they like the little small things.
Yeah.
That are, from time to time, not just again like on birthdays or Christmases. It just tell somebody, you know what, I'm taking the time to think about you. That you are important to me.
Right.
That makes somebody feel special, and it's not a birthday, and it's not Christmas.
Right, that's good.
I think that's really
that's good.
At least that's what makes me.
Well, for you, because that's one of your love languages. That's one of your love languages. So receiving gifts on Christmas, it's not that you don't like it or your birthday, but it's that's cool and it's great. But it's the non-holiday times, the non-birthday times, and again, we're not talking about spending a lot of money. Small little things. Can just make a difference, really, and in being like when it's thoughtful,
because it shows the person too that you understand them, and that you're taking time to really hear them too,
right,
and what's important to them,
right,
and so when you do that, you're like, oh my gosh, they listened to me, they really took time to understand me,
right,
that's what I think that means to the person.
That's true.
Some people care about this, some people don't. So again, it's about understanding a person's love language.
Yeah, and you got to make sure too that it's gifts that the person likes, not that you like.
That is so true.
The gift that person likes.
That is
not
so
that,
true.
Not that you. I got you this. I got you this. This TV. Got you this 4K flat screen TV because I know you like receiving gifts.
I don't think anybody would not like a 4K TV.
Well, you're not into stuff like that. You'd be like, okay. Like Pastor Aisha. Pastor Aisha wanted this. The vacuum cleaners. What are they called? What are the ones that are on the floor? The robot. I bought vacuums that kind of go. And man, I'm gonna get her the top notch. She didn't want the top. She wasn't. But man, I got her the top notch.
He always does it. That's just like I picked out this fur coat that I wanted, but it was a faux fur. But he's not gonna give me the coat that I picked out of the.
No, put it in proper context.
He got me a real.
Put it in proper
fur
context.
coat.
So this was years ago. Okay, this was years ago. Pastor Aisha mentioned she wanted a fur coat. She
I
said
could
a
care
fake.
less.
She said I want a fake
No,
fur coat.
I picked out and I showed you exactly what I wanted from the catalog.
And it was a fake fur
I
coat.
don't care less whether it's fake or not.
As I pondered,
because actually I didn't want him spending money.
As I pondered, okay, I pondered. I'm like, she's not a fake person, so I didn't want her to have a fake coat. That was just me. And so, but the Lord blessed because the coat was very expensive and it was like 80% off, and it was like one of the few ones left, and it fit.
Once he told me the story behind it and what the deal that he got, then I don't mind you, I was appreciative. Yeah,
but the point of it is that we got to make sure that when you're doing holiday stuff, that's one thing. When you're doing gifts, it's gifts that your spouse would like, because maybe you want to give over the top stuff all the time and they're not over the top. That could be a challenge. Be a challenge. So, and just make it nice. Don't you give them a gift? Don't make it ghetto. Make it nice. Make it nice. When you do it, don't give them something where it's all ripped. Well, you ought to be glad I got you something. No, make it thoughtful, make it pretty, make it nice.
Or not give it in a package. Here, I got this for you.
That's like signing up for Christmas. Our boys, I'm like, I don't want to wrap nothing. Here, just take it. Yeah. And so, all right, let's do the next one because we're running out of time. We're going to do some Q&A.
The next one, quality time.
Oh yes, Jesus.
Quality time.
Quality time. Okay, and this is about, man, your love language is when you just get a chance to spend quality time together. Mm-hmm. We ain't even got to do nothing. Mm-hmm. Just quality time together. This is, you got to understand how important this is for some people. Just, quality, like this is one of mine. Just quality time. It's not one of mine. Like we don't have to do nothing. We don't have to do nothing. Like I can just be with you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's like, you just went, Pastor Aisha just went overnight. She hung out with some friends and went overnight. And man, I was like going through. I was like a drug addict on withdrawal. And it was the night, praise God, it was the night we did stuff with the men's impartation. And so I was focused for a little. I was trying to get the men to do a shut-in all night because I had nothing to go home to. But, so, because I love being with Pastor Aisha. I just love.
Well, the reason I question that, because when it talks about quality time, sometimes it talks about putting the phone down, so that you can be in tune with one another as a couple, not having maybe dinner with the television on, and really trying to embrace that one-on-one time. So Bishop may like to spend time with me sometimes, but he will be on his phone. The TV will be on, so that sometimes
it depends on the situation. It depends. That's like when we go out to eat. I don't mind talking while we eat. Pastor Aisha's like, let's talk before and after. Let's talk, and then while we're eating, or like I do this, and she laughs at me.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm like, we'll talk before whatever. Then when the food comes,
it depends on how hungry I am.
And so, while she's eating, she's like, "Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me?"
I do not say it like
no,
that.
You don't say it like that at all. I'm just saying it's a look, like I'm eating. I mean, but the cool thing about this is each other. Or what she gets mad at, like, so we're eating, and then I'm done eating. I want to talk.
No, he's done eating. He doesn't talk when he's eating, but when he's done eating, he wants to talk, but I'm still eating. And so I give him that look like, really?
She want to hold the fork up. I'm eating. So, yeah. But, so quality time. But quality time is, you just like spending time with each other. You like spending, that time. And that's it's important. If this is your spouse's love language or your intended other's love language, it's important that you carve that out. Because we can be so busy. We can be so busy and not make the time. And a person whose love language is quality time, and you're not making time for that, it can say to them, you don't care about them.
I think, quality time is definitely one of my top 3. And I love just to be able to get away and not be focused on anything and just me and you. And I really like that time, because one of the things that save times for discussions when you're having quality time. And you know me, I'll have my list of questions just so that we can.
Yeah, that's good. What you do is really good.
Yeah, but sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't.
No, I don't mind.
No, you don't mind.
I don't
most
mind.
of the time.
No, I don't mind.
And if a lot of the couples, we gave you different questions in order to talk about, to get to know your spouse more. I know some of the things that I like to do, especially when we get away and just have quality time with one another.
Yeah, it's like Michelle said. Quality time is both of our love language. I'm satisfied as long as we're together. But Kevin wants Pastor Aisha. But Kevin wants what Pastor Aisha is saying. Mm-hmm. And so, it's when we're like Pastor Aisha, we're talking about this with vacations. I like 7-10 day vacations, and my thought process is, after the first 2 days or so, you're just getting used to the place, the cruise ship, wherever you are. And man, if it's short, it's time to go home. So I like 7-10 day. Pastor Aisha's with 7 or 10 day, but she's like, man, sometimes I just like short vacations, like overnight, just overnight
or overnight. Yeah, maybe two. Yeah, one night, maybe one nighter or 2 night max.
Yeah, and see, that's not me. I'm like, man,
I could do one.
I packed
1 to 2 max, 7 days.
Anybody like that?
No. But you got to understand. I just came to a revelation as to why I like the 1 to 2 days, and I have to thank you. Thank you, Kelly and Minister Sata, because y'all had me come to this aha moment, when we went away. And I realized that it's because when I go away for 7 or more days, there's a lot of work I got to do before I leave. And there's a lot of work I got to do when I get back. But when I'm just going for a day or two, I don't have all that work before and afterwards. And having a lot of work to do before and afterwards can sometimes be a little bit stressful. So that's why I like those little teeny mini getaways, because I can have a little woosah for a day or two and not have to worry about all the work I got to get done before I leave or after.
Mini getaways are like you ever get the little small donuts, or a little small cookie, a little small one? You bite it and it's like it's not even enough.
You need sometimes just those little bite-sized things. You have a little bit of both. Okay?
Yeah, that's not for me at all. That's Pastor Aisha, so we do that. But man, overnight I'm like, I'm unpacked. Let's go. And so, but it's the main thing with a serious note on this is really understanding. Yeah, see, Chaz, I love long vacations. See, that's right, Chaz. But the main thing is, if quality time is your spouse's love language, man, you got to know. What are some examples for that? Let's kind of cover that real quick. Just some examples.
I think we talked about you want to save time for discussion.
Yes.
Make sure you have time so that you can discuss without interruptions, not on your phone, not watching the TV. I think that's important.
Give them an example of those questions you pull up too. Give them an example, because those are good. Some people may not know about that. Well, just know what you do. You just pull it up. Just what? It's like what?
You can just Google questions to ask your spouse. To get to know one another.
Those are good. Those are good things you can do over dinner and stop on your phone and talk while you're waiting for the food to come.
And make sure you have eye contact. That you're looking at each other. You're not looking away, because sometimes when you look away, that makes the other person feel like
you're on
not
your phone.
Paying attention.
You're on your phone.
I just said that.
Oh, you did?
He's not paying attention.
But faith comes by hearing and hearing. Or you're on your phone. Yeah. So giving them your undivided attention.
Yes.
So,
All right, stop. See, you're not really giving me your undivided attention right now. You're being distracting.
I'm distracted.
All right, come on.
It's a difference.
Keep it going.
Okay, let's do the last one.
All right.
The last one.
Physical touch, which he just did. Stop.
Physical touch.
And this is a biggie for him, but not
it
for
is.
me. Not for
physical
me.
Contact.
Wow.
Physical contact and touching in the relationship. I am a PDA person. Mm-hmm. I'm holding hands in public. If Pastor Aisha would let me kiss her, although the right environment can bring it out of her, because at the marriage advance, some of y'all didn't see it. When we had the slow dancing and the red lit room, Pastor Aisha, I talked about throwing her up against the wall. She threw me up against the wall. Mm-hmm. She threw me up against the wall and palmed my booty. That's what she did. Y'all didn't see that. Your spiritual mama's a freak. She can be a freak.
I don't remember palming.
I do, because I was like, whoa, come on, sister.
Maybe I did. I don't remember.
But
I probably had to get that out of my
Yeah. But physical touch is my love language. I mean, Pastor Aisha doesn't like public displays of affection, but
we were just walking the other day, and I grabbed your hand to hold it, and you would have thought fireworks.
You would have thought Jesus cracked the sky, man. I love, because now she'll let me hold her hand. I grab her hand a lot. She'll let me hold her hand. Or like a lot of times what I do when we're in service and somebody's praying, I'll grab her hand.
Talk about fireworks, Jordan just sent me a picture saying, look at the view of the fireworks, of his fireworks that he's...
See how the children interrupt what you're doing?
At Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, but, I'll deal with him later. But, that this public, this physical touch is an important one if your spouse is that. And I think we're a good example, because physical touch is not Pastor Aisha's love language at all. Mm-mm. It's not. But she knows it's mine, so she will allow me to grab her hand. She'll kiss me. She'll kiss me in public sometimes.
Do things that show PDA to you, because I know that's important to you.
Yeah.
Because I know that's a love language for you.
Yeah.
Even when I don't feel like it, or because I want to make you feel good.
So I'll go. Hey, won't you give me a kiss in public? And a lot of times she's like, nope. No, not here. No. But then every so often, the Holy Ghost moves, and she'll give me a kiss. And again, we're not tonguing down, but she'll give me a kiss, man, and it's awesome. Although when we were in Greece, because none of y'all were around, she gave me a good one, a good kiss in a courtyard. She danced with me in a courtyard. They were playing music, and I said, come on, let's dance. And we danced in the courtyard for a little while. It was kind of cool, and that was a major thing for Pastor Aisha, because she doesn't do that. But the point of this is, if your spouse's love language is physical touch, even though it's not, because none of you can be not physical touch as much as Pastor Aisha, because she's not. That is not her thing. You got to be open to it. Open to it. But at the same time, I have to be sensitive, because it's not your love language.
And when physical touch is somebody's love language, it's good to go up to them and just hug them from time to time. Which is why it was good when we did the exercise for the marriage advance on, doing different ways, try different ways that you to hug each other.
Yes.
And then tell each other which hug that you liked was best. Hopefully y'all remembered that. And so whatever hug that your partner liked the best, make sure you take time to do that with them from time to time. And if you're on here for the first time and you're married and you weren't part of our marriage advance, you can do that exercise at home where you just hug, take time. I can't remember how many times it was. Marsha, you're on probably right now. So how many times, find like maybe 8 different ways to hug your partner, and then communicate which ones that you like best, and make sure you try to do that every so often with your spouse, and just watch how much they light up the room.
Yeah, Pastor Aisha will hug me sometimes. She'll come up behind me and hug me or whatever. Man, you'd have thought everything just stopped. So now, and again, this is not relegated to mainly sex. Keep that in mind.
And that's when I think too, you want to make sure that you take time to show physical touch and
non-sexual
that are non-sexual.
Yeah, it can't just be it leads to that. It should just be touch, man, holding hands, hugging, whatever the case is. So I'm very good. And again, for single people, this is important that you know your love language, and the person you're dating, their love language, so that you can begin to practice, because it's easy to do things the way you like.
Yeah.
It's another that takes intentionality to do things the way your spouse or the one you're dating, your intended other, likes.
Amen.
Very, very important.
Now, what was our percentages?
Our percentages? All right, so here's what our percentages were. So let me I'll bring up what ours was. Hold on for a second. They were.
Well, you want me to say mine first?
Yeah, you can.
Well, 32% for me was active services. 29% was receiving gifts. So they were very close. And then quality time, I told y'all it was my third. That was 23%. So they were all really pretty high. 10% was physical touch. And then 6% actually was words for affirmation. But again, I really believe that words of affirmation for me is because I get it all the time.
Yeah.
I think if you didn't give me words of affirmation all the time, it probably would be higher. I probably would want it more. Right. And that's why I think that's only just so low.
Yeah, yeah. And so what are yours again? Say they were what?
Acts of service,
Okay.
receiving gifts, quality time, then physical touch, and the last was words of affirmation.
Okay, okay.
But my top two were acts of service and receiving gifts.
Okay, so those are the ones I have to work on more. Acts of service and receiving gifts. Those are the ones I have to work on more.
All right, so by next Marriage Monday, you guys, y'all can test us to see
Acts of service
how we're doing.
and receiving
if
gifts.
we're getting better in these areas with one another.
Because some of, because we were talking about this, well, like with acts of
And
service.
so listen, we're going to put in the chat. We're going to put in the chat in both Facebook and YouTube and in the description the link where you can take
the quiz
to find out what your love language is. And we're also going to share the link for the 5 languages of love, where they have some other resources as well that you can go and look at. But I think that's a nice, great homework assignment for you, your spouse. If you have a partner, you could do it with other people that you're in close relationship with, so that you can make sure that you're taking the time to meet each other based upon and affirm one another based upon what their love languages is. And then a month from now, test each other to see how you're doing in these areas.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so mine, 37% words of affirmation.
So wait a minute. So my lowest.
Your lowest is my
your
highest. And that's our life. That's our life. It's
Isn't that interesting?
Her lowest is my highest. And so, but that's true. Because, wait. Slow your roll, woman. So, because I want y'all to see how important that is. That, because I'll tell Pastor Aisha, and this is why you got to know this, because I'll say to Pastor Aisha daily, I love you. I love you. And she looks at me like, okay. And, because it's the lowest on hers. I say it all the time. It's the highest on mine. And so you got to understand it. It's not that she means anything by it. She's not being negative. She's not being, non-responsive, but that she's not receiving it the way I say it. Mm-hmm. Not that I shouldn't say it, but she's not receiving it that way. And you got to understand. That's a real good example. I want people to see that because, if that's your love language, you could be saying it and, your spouse is not responding the way you think they should respond. And now the devil has a field day. It's not that. They're not receiving it the way you're saying it because it's not high up on their love language scale.
Yeah.
Okay. So now number 2 for me, which I don't know because it says quality time was 30%, physical touch was 23%. I think that's flipped. I think it could have been how I answered the questions because physical touch is high up for me. Physical touch is high up for me. So I think mine should be switched, but I think it should be physical touch then quality time.
But I think what is very interesting is all of yours are the total opposites of what mine are.
Yeah, where'd you pull? Let me see yours again. Yeah.
All of your low ones, me trying to adjust that.
So, yeah. So, quality time and physical touch were your 2 lowest. They were, your 3 lowest were my...
Words of affirmation.
That's your lowest. Physical touch that's your second lowest.
But you think physical touch should be...
My physical touch should be higher for me. Physical touch should be higher for me. I think it's physical touch than quality. It could just be how I answered the questions.
But just like my top 2 are your lowest 2.
Yeah, like receiving gifts. I'm not really big on receiving gifts. I just buy what I want. I just buy it. Now, when I receive it, I appreciate it.
That makes me mad.
I just buy what I want.
That makes me mad.
Yeah, but the other thing
Listen to me. That makes me mad because I like to receive gifts. So because I like to receive gifts, I love to give gifts. But then I can't give him a gift because he already went out and bought it.
I buy what I want. So when people give me gifts, see, you got to be careful giving me gifts because what you give me, I might not like. I'm going to receive it and go, thank you. But I'm like, I want you to...
Why couldn't you just tell me what you wanted? And then
because sometimes you have a hard time spending the money on what I want. You have a hard time. Pastor Aisha has this money thing. She has a hard time. Me, I don't. If I like it, I'm gonna go. If I can afford it, I'm gonna go buy it.
Something that I'm not gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, but a lot of my stuff, you're gonna have a hard time. That's just what it is. A lot of my stuff, you're gonna have a hard time. Okay. Pastor Aisha's not like that. She can go to Payless and be the bomb.com. She big boss. Big boss. We go to Macy's. She ain't trying to do that. So, yeah. So receiving gifts and acts of service are not, that doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, it's low. Okay, all right. Somebody cleaned the dishes. You should have cleaned the dishes. That's how my thing is. I'm appreciative. So even if these things are low, you should be appreciative of people doing it. And so very, very good. We got 6 minutes. We're just about
and I'm
out of
putting
time.
all the links in the chat. I just put all the links. I put the test in the chat on both Facebook and YouTube, and I put the link for the 5 languages of love that has all the other resources in there so that you can get more information.
Yeah.
You can find out how you can get the book on the 5 languages of love,
Yes.
other resources, and a lot of great other information.
Yeah, and so, again, as we're ready to close, you really want to do this exercise. Foundation with yourself. If you're single, you're not in a relationship, sit down and take the quiz, because you need to know your love languages. So when the time comes for you to get in a relationship, you can have that conversation with the person you're dating. Not on the first date, but as you start dating somebody, not only do they need to know your love language, but you need to know their love language. So this is really, really important for us as individuals. Now, when we're married already, we got to move quicker on this, because maybe tonight helps you discover why you're having some challenges in your relationship. Maybe, your love language is words of affirmation, and you've been expecting your spouse to respond the way you're giving it, and tonight was like, wow, that's why. That's why. Sometimes people, we are the exact opposites. We just showed y'all that tonight. We're the exact opposites, but we're living proof you can have a successful marriage.
Yeah.
You can have a great marriage, even though you're exact opposites and your love languages are different. It's not about us being the same.
Yeah.
It's about us complementing each other and being flexible.
Yeah.
That's real key, about us being flexible, because sometimes, man, you're not compatible in the moment, but your flexibility helps compensate for that.
And I think that's important, because as you can see, we're not like we're compatible, but we're not like similar.
We're not.
And we're not.
We are opposites.
We're the total.
We are
opposite.
for the most part.
But we're flexible.
We're flexible.
We're definitely flexible.
We're flexible. We are. What you like, I don't like many times. I don't like. Pastor, even when it comes to food, Pastor Aisha can be like hot dogs and hamburgers. She can. Let's have hot dogs tonight. Hot dogs.
Or leftovers.
Where are we at? A Wawa? Hot dogs. And like leftovers. I don't know about y'all. I can do, like, Thanksgiving's coming up. I can do Thanksgiving once, maybe twice. That's it. I can do leftovers once, maybe twice is pushing it. Pastor Aisha can do it 4, 5 times.
No,
yes.
three, 4.
There it is. Yeah, but you can do. She's like, that food is good.
I don't
no.
like to go to waste. I don't like to waste stuff.
No, well, listen, we're not wasting it. We're giving it to the garbage disposal. So no. So, but again, the point of that is that when I know your love language, then I have to put the time and effort in to invest in that, to show you that. But at the same time, when you know your spouse's love language, you got to put the time in to receive that. So Pastor Aisha has to receive what I'm doing, receive, how I am. That's why, people see me and they go, I wish my spouse would be like Bishop. You might not want that. But look at the face. So you might not want that. There's a whole lot that comes with this. But, that Pastor Aisha is the one for me. And a whole lot of folks can't handle her. I am the one for her. But we complement each other. Ooh, I saw that look.
What's that mean?
Saw that look. Ooh. So take this now. If you're watching together, sit down. Go through it. If your spouse isn't with you, go back and watch this tonight. Watch this and then sit down, because we gave some why to the what tonight. Don't just say, let's take the test.
And how. And how to show love based upon what your love.
Sit down with your spouse and just look at this. Okay, skim through the first few minutes. We were talking about who we were. Skim through that and go through this. If you're watching together, man, take the test and then have some good dialogue on, how you are, how your spouse is, and how you need to adjust so that you can really benefit from this. This is a really, really good exercise. This was good tonight.
It was.
We're not going to take questions. We only got 2 minutes. So it's really not about questions, it's about application. And so make sure that you do that. So I hope tonight blessed you, man. We always enjoy being on. We try to do this every month, but it's hard. We were good. We were good until we hit the summer and travel. Sometimes our travel hinders us doing it. So we try. So we'll see about the next.
It's supposed to be every 4th Monday.
Yeah, supposed to be, but it's not always. And so I hope you appreciate this tonight. I hope that this helped you tonight. and I hope that you go make
I think
application.
we're gonna be able to do. We will be on. I think we'll be able to do the fourth Monday of
November.
Of November.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. We're not promising.
It's
We're not
November
promising.
28th.
That's a special day.
November 28th.
You don't know what that day is?
What day is that?
I'll think of something. That's a special day. So now we'll see.
It's Marriage Monday.
It's Marriage Monday. That's what it is. And so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And so, I hope that this really helped you tonight, man. I hope that this blessed you. People are saying this was really good. I hope so, because we want it to be a good investment of your time. Well, we love y'all so much, man. Listen, don't forget, man. Wednesday night. Woo! Wednesday night, all the way live. No, not tomorrow night.
That's right.
Wednesday night. Wednesday night in the sanctuary. It's going to be really good. We're going to pick up. So many people are talking about yesterday and the sermon.
If you missed yesterday,
and
both
services it came out different in the second service.
Yeah, I
it
really
always
liked
does.
the first.
But I like the second.
Was good.
It was good. So we're gonna pick it up, man. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna go to another layer.
Yeah.
So make sure you're in the building or watching, but I'd rather you be in the building. And so, and then this upcoming weekend, the kids got stuff going on. On Saturday, it's Harvest Night. It's gonna be really good. And then Sunday, we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna this whole thing about meditation, we're gonna spend some time in it. So all right, we love y'all so much, man. Have a great week.
Yes.
Do this exercise. Don't let the devil get in it. And God will really use it via the Holy Spirit to take your marriage to the next level. All right, we love y'all so much. Talk to you soon. Be blessed.
Be blessed.